Hey, good day. How are you? Happy Monday. It's Monday. And I just wanted to jump on to say hello, but also to say that on Mondays, we are doing a series called Mindset Shifts. And of course, it's linked to the recent book, Mindset Shifts for Change Makers. So, what's your shift? We're going to be just spending a little bit of time talking about Mindset Shift for Change Makers. What was the impetus behind writing the book, but also who is the book best positioned to help? And so, one of the motivations for writing Mindset Shift for Change Makers is that I have, over the period of time of being a coach, a trainer, and a speaker, observed that many people are held back by limiting beliefs. Yes, limiting beliefs. Do you know, for instance, what some of those are? They might be very familiar to you. You might have also observed them in others. It is things like fear of failure, limiting beliefs, fear of success, even. It's also things like procrastination, hesitation, and it is also the things that hold you back from stepping forward confidently towards your dreams and greatest desires. And so I felt called to write this book. I felt that in many ways it is a book that becomes a tool designed to help leaders and change makers break free from some of those limiting beliefs. And also, one of the biggest fear factors is that whole issue of self doubt. Self doubt and limit is one of the key limiting beliefs. It just holds you hostage. And have I experienced self doubt? Have I experienced limiting beliefs? Of course, like everyone else. I remember that even as a successful leader, even as a well placed leader of others, I, when I made one transition in my life, when I moved with my family, when I stepped away from my full time work leading a diocesan youth organization, having built out a leadership training structure in a diocese that spanned 12 islands, where I regularly was up and down those chain of islands, and I was doing work across the province of the West Indies, and also doing work following up on my time as a global youth consultant with the World Council of Churches. I, moving, leaving family, leaving again, leaving the safety and safe spaces of my diocese, my home island, and again in transition, I got to a new place and I'm like, who are these people? How am I going to lead them? How am I going to be co leading? Because I was coming in as a supporting spouse with no real defined role other than being wife and mom. And even then, also navigating life in a strange place, but also having been a leader in my church community, in the national and regional church setup, then to be thrust into a local reality where people felt they knew what they were doing and they didn't have a lot of patience to be told that, hey, could you maybe think of doing this in a different way? There are different perspectives about doing things, and they're like, who are you? And who asked you? And so that whole issue of just having to take a step back and evaluate what was happening, but also understanding that sometimes self doubt shows up in a different way, and that the fear of failing in in points of transition can be real for anyone. And so I reflect on that time when I realized after some self reflection, that I was hesitating to offer my gifts and talents, that I was hesitating taking up a leadership role beyond the ones that are assigned. They call it First Lady, but First Lady for whom? So in any case, I found that it was a time of internal struggle, and I discovered this was a time when I discovered coaching, a time when I discovered really that, like you, the answers are already within you. You just need a skilled coach, a skilled person to ask you qualifying questions to help you to move from where you are, feeling perhaps stuck, feeling perhaps less than prepared for this new assignment. You might need someone to really work with you to move you from where you are now to where you want to go. And so that is one of the powers of coaching. And Mindset Shift for Change Makers also talks about the role of executive coaching. Uh, and so, as we dive deep into the book over the next few weeks, that is one of the areas that we'll be talking about. Who benefits from executive coaching? And I've come a long way from those years, many years ago. We're now 21 years into this ministry that I was speaking about. And I have seen how self coaching, how working with a coach, multiple coaches, to build my craft of coaching and training and speaking, how that has benefited me personally, but how it can also be a benefit for you. And that is a gift that I offer. So, Mindset Shift for Change Makers is a tool that you can use to guide you also on your journey. And it can be a critical help for you. And so, what do you get when we talk about Mindset Shift for Change Makers? You will gain knowledge in how to unleash the change maker within you, because yes, we all have the possibility to be a transformational change maker within us. And so through targeted training and coaching, you will be able to discover the strategies that will help to empower you and to drive organizational change if you are someone working in an organization, running a business, or if you are an individual who is seeking also your own personal individual transformation. And it will help you in many ways to going back to where we started, to break free from limiting beliefs. So this process will help you to say goodbye to fear and inaction. Many times, hesitation, procrastination, feeling that we are not good enough, lack of self esteem, those things hold you back. You begin to uh, second guess every decision that you need to make. You hesitate, and that keeps you from taking action. So, we're going to be talking also about how do you say goodbye to fear and inaction, and how this program that's tied to this book, Mindset Shift for Change Makers, really equips you with the mindset tools that you need to meet your goals and your dreams, and to help you to experience personal fulfillment. And then it offers very practical support and resources. As someone who is trained and skilled in neuroencoding, as a neuroencoding specialist, we tackle limiting beliefs head on. We talk all the time about how do we bust those fear of failure, all of those thieves of our dreams. We call them the 10 thieves of our dreams. And how do we use very practical skills to talk about getting beyond that fear, getting beyond those limiting beliefs. And I will be teaching you strategies, helping you to use certain techniques to break out of those habits. And so you will gain powerful support in terms of coaching, but also very practical methodologies that we use as neuroencoding specialists to help you to move forward, to help you to confront your fear and to overcome those fears, all in an effort to help you to enhance your personal and organizational leadership. So, when we look at mindset shift for change makers, this is where your journey towards impactful leadership begin. It starts now. So if you haven't picked up your copy of Mindset Shift for Change Makers, I would urge you to do so. You don't need it to really benefit from these very short videos that I'll be doing on Mindset Mondays. Uh, However, it's a good read. It's chock full of practical strategies that really are going to move you forward. So it's on Amazon as a Kindle version and also as a paperback, just like the one that I'm holding in my hand. So I trust that I will see you next Monday and that we engage together around the shift that you need to make. What's your next shift? What mindset shift do you need to make? And what fears, what limiting beliefs do you need to break out of? I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye bye. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy Mindset Monday. Bye.